You can't come to Christmas this year. Marco's going to be there." The words hit me like a freight train while I was wrapping her mother's gift, a first edition Italian cookbook I'd spent 3 months tracking down. The engagement ring I'd bought 2 weeks ago suddenly felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds in my jacket pocket. I'm 37. Been with Francesca for 4 years. We moved in together 18 months ago, and I thought we were building something real. I'm sorry, what? She wouldn't look at me. Just kept scrolling through her phone like she'd told me we were out of milk instead of uninviting me from meeting her family for the holidays. It's complicated. My mom invited him before she knew we were serious, and now it's this whole thing, and I just think it would be easier if. Easier for who, exactly? Francesca finally looked up. Her eyes had that defensive edge I'd seen maybe twice in 4 years, always when she talked about her ex Marco, the guy she dated for 6 years before we met. The guy whose name still came up at least once a month in random conversations. For everyone. My family loves Marco. He's basically part of the furniture at this point. My dad still texts him about soccer. My nana asks about him every time we talk. And where do I fit in this picture, Francesca? She set her phone down with a sigh that made me feel like I was being unreasonable. You know how Italian families are. It's not personal. Not personal? You're telling your boyfriend of 4 years he can't come to Christmas because your ex-boyfriend is going to be there, and it's not personal. You're making this bigger than it needs to be. I looked down at the wrapped cookbook, at the cashmere scarf I'd bought for her father, at the handmade ceramic serving dish for her nana that cost more than my car payment. All carefully chosen, all meant to show her family I was serious about their daughter. The ring box felt like it was burning through my pocket. How long have you known about this? Francesca's silence was answer enough. Francesca, how long? 3 weeks. Maybe a month. A month. She'd known for a month and waited until 2 weeks before Christmas to tell me. 2 weeks before I was supposed to meet her entire extended family for the first time. Were you ever going to tell me? Or were you just going to fake a work emergency the day before we left? Don't be dramatic. That word, dramatic. It's what people say when they want you to shrink yourself down and accept whatever they're serving you with a smile. I bought your dad a scarf. Your mom that cookbook she mentioned once 6 months ago. I learned basic Italian phrases so I wouldn't embarrass you. I've been looking forward to this for months. And I appreciate that, but your ex is more important. It's not like that. Marco's family. He's known them since he was 23. We've been together for 4 years, Francesca. For years. When exactly do I stop being the new guy and start being family? She stood up, arms crossed. The defensive wall was fully up now. You know what? This is exactly why I didn't want to tell you earlier. I knew you'd react like this. React like what? Like someone who's been dating you for 4 years and just got uninvited from Christmas so your ex-boyfriend can go instead. See? You're not even trying to understand. I stood there in our living room, surrounded by Christmas decorations we'd put up together the week before, and felt something shift. It wasn't anger exactly. More like clarity. The kind that comes when you finally see something you've been deliberately not seeing. Explain it to me then. Make it make sense. Francesca's jaw tightened. My family has certain expectations. Marco fits into that world. He speaks the language. He knows the customs. And I don't. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. She grabbed her keys off the counter. I need some air. We can talk about this later when you're calmer. I am calm, Francesca. That's what you're not understanding. I'm perfectly calm. The door closed behind her before I could say anything else. I stood in the silence for maybe 10 minutes before I started moving. Not frantically. Not emotionally. Methodically. I packed a bag. Clothes for a few days. Toiletries. Laptop. The important stuff. Left the Christmas gifts on the table where they sat. Left the ring in my jacket pocket. I didn't leave a note. Didn't see the point. My buddy Dante had an empty guest room. He'd been telling me for months I could crash there if I ever needed space. Never thought I'd take him up on it. You're joking, he said when I showed up at his door at 9 p.m. with a duffel bag. Do I look like I'm joking? He let me in without another word. Opened a beer. Waited. I told him the whole thing. The Christmas uninvitation. The month of lying by omission. The way she'd made me feel crazy for being upset about it. And you just left? What was I supposed to do? Beg her to let me come to Christmas? Fight with her ex for a seat at the table? Dante took a long drink. She's going to call. Probably. What are you going to say? Nothing. I'm going to let her sit with her choice. She called 43 minutes after I left. I know because I watched my phone light up on Dante's coffee table and counted the seconds until it went to voicemail. Then she called again. And again. By midnight, I had 17 missed calls and a dozen text messages ranging from, "Where are you?" to "This is childish," to "We need to talk about this like adults." Adults. Like I was the one being childish by refusing to accept being second priority to her ex-boyfriend. I turned my phone off and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up to 56 notifications. Calls, texts, voicemails. Francesca, her sister Julia, even her mother. The one from her mother caught me off guard. "Please call Francesca. She is very upset." Upset. She was upset. I finally listened to one of the voicemails. Just one. "I don't understand what's happening. You just left? Without even talking to me? This is insane. Call me back. We need to discuss this like rational people." Rational. There was that word again. The one people use when they want to set the terms of the argument. When they want to frame your emotional response as unreasonable so they don't have to examine their own behavior. I deleted the voicemail. Deleted all of them without listening. Dante made coffee and didn't ask questions. That's what good friends do. They give you space to process without forcing you to justify yourself. "You going to work today?" "Yeah. Need to keep my mind occupied." Fair enough. Doors open as long as you need it. Work was surreal. Everyone was in holiday mode, talking about family plans and travel arrangements. Meanwhile, I was fielding increasingly frantic messages from Francesca. By day 3, the messages changed tone. "I've been thinking about what you said. Can we please talk? I understand why you're upset. Just come home so we can work through this. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. Please just talk to me. Sorry." The word felt hollow. Sorry for what exactly? Sorry she got caught. Sorry I didn't react the way she wanted. Sorry she had to face consequences for her choices. On day 5, Julia called. I answered. "What the hell is wrong with you?" "Hello to you too, Julia. My sister is devastated. She hasn't stopped crying since you left." "That's unfortunate." "Unfortunate. She made one mistake." "Did she tell you what the mistake was?" Silence. "Julia, did she tell you what actually happened? Or did she just cry and make me look like the bad guy?" "She said you got into a fight about Christmas. She uninvited me from Christmas so her ex-boyfriend could come instead. After 4 years together. After I bought gifts for your entire family. After I'd been planning to propose." More silence. She didn't mention Marco." "Of course she didn't. Look, our family is complicated. Marco's been around for 10 years. I know. She's mentioned it approximately 800 times. But here's the thing, Julia. I don't care how long Marco's been around. I care that after 4 years, I'm still the outsider. I care that she prioritized his feelings over mine. I care that she knew for a month and lied to me about it. She didn't lie. Omission is lying. She knew I was preparing for this. She watched me buy gifts, practice Italian phrases, plan the trip. And she said nothing." Julia went quiet for a long moment. "What do you want her to do?" "I want her to examine why she made that choice. I want her to understand that relationships aren't supposed to work this way. I want her to realize that making room for your ex at your family's table means there's no room for your future." That's dramatic. Everyone keeps saying that. But nobody's explaining how I'm wrong. She hung up. That night, Francesca showed up at Dante's apartment. I don't know how she found me, but she was there, looking exhausted and red-eyed. "Can we talk?" Dante looked at me. I nodded. He disappeared into his room. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. The same couch where I'd sat 5 days ago, trying to process what had happened. "I've been thinking," she started. Her voice was small. "Different. About what you said. About all of it." I waited. I didn't realize. I knew you'd be upset, but I didn't understand how badly I'd hurt you. "What did you think would happen, Francesca?" "I thought you'd be annoyed. Maybe we'd argue for a day, and then you'd understand it was just family politics, and we'd move on." Family politics. That's what it felt like to me. My mom invited Marco before I could stop her, and then it became this thing where everyone expected him to come, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it without making everyone upset. "So you made me upset instead." She flinched. "I made the wrong choice. I see that now. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, you made the choice you wanted to make. You picked comfort over courage. You picked your ex over me. You picked avoiding an awkward conversation with your family over respecting our relationship. That's not fair, isn't it? You had a month, Francesca. A whole month to tell your family that Marco shouldn't come because you have a serious boyfriend. A month to set boundaries. A month to choose us. And you didn't." Tears started sliding down her face. I was scared. Of what? Of them not accepting you. Of them comparing you to Marco and finding you lacking. Of having to defend our relationship when I didn't know if you were going to stick around. That stopped me cold. What? You've never said you love me. In 4 years. You've never said the words. My mind went blank. She was right. I hadn't. Not because I didn't feel it, but because, I don't know. The moment never felt right. It felt like something I was working up to. Something I'd say when I proposed. The ring was still in my jacket pocket, hanging in Dante's closet. So you thought I wasn't serious? After 4 years? After moving in together? After planning to meet your entire family for Christmas? I didn't know what to think. You're so closed off sometimes. So hard to read. So instead of asking me directly, you uninvited me from Christmas and invited your ex. When you say it like that, how else should I say it? She wiped her eyes. I told my mom Marco can't come. I told her I have a boyfriend and he comes first. I told her if she can't accept that, then I won't be coming either. Something in my chest loosened slightly. What did she say? She was upset at first, but she understood. She said she didn't realize we were so serious because I never brought you around. You never let me come around. I know. I was protecting myself. Protecting you. I don't know. I was scared of what would happen if two worlds collided and they didn't fit. We sat in silence for a while. The apartment was quiet except for the hum of the heater and distant city sounds. I bought a ring, I said finally. Her head snapped up. What? 2 weeks before you uninvited me. I bought an engagement ring. I was going to propose on Christmas Eve in front of your family. The color drained from her face. Oh my God. Yeah. I ruined everything. You made a choice. And I made one too. What does that mean? I looked at her, really looked at her. At the woman I'd spent 4 years with. The woman I'd planned to marry. And I felt tired. It means I need time. It means I need to figure out if this is the pattern for the rest of our lives. You protecting yourself at my expense. Me having to prove I'm worth prioritizing. It won't be like that. I promise. You can't promise that, Francesca. Because you didn't even realize you were doing it until I left. Fresh tears. So what? You're just going to stay here? We're just done. I don't know. I honestly don't know. She stood up, shaking. I love you. I know I don't say it enough, but I do. I love you, and I'm sorry, and I'll do whatever it takes to fix this. Then give me space. Let me figure out what I need. How much space? I don't know that either. She left without arguing. That was new. Usually she'd push, try to force a resolution. But something had shifted. Maybe she finally understood the magnitude of what had happened. Over the next 2 weeks, she texted occasionally. Never pushy. Just small updates about her day, pictures of things that reminded her of me, gentle reminders that she was there when I was ready. Christmas came and went. I spent it with Dante's family. Loud, chaotic, welcoming. They didn't ask questions. Just made room for me at the table like I'd always been there. Francesca sent one text on Christmas morning. Thinking of you. Hope you're okay. I was okay. Not great. Not terrible. Just processing. On New Year's Eve, her sister Julia called again. Don't hang up. I'm listening. She's a mess. Like, genuinely falling apart. She's been going to therapy, reading relationship books, doing all this work to understand what went wrong. That's good for her. She loves you. You know that, right? I'm starting to. So what? You're just going to throw away 4 years because of one mistake. It wasn't one mistake, Julia. It was a pattern. Me always bending. Her always protecting herself. Me proving I was worthy. Her keeping one foot out the door just in case. She's not like that anymore. She's different. People don't change in 3 weeks. No, but they can start. And she has. She really has. I didn't know what to say to that. Just think about it, okay? Don't let pride cost you something real. After she hung up, I sat with that. Pride. Was that what this was? Or was it self-respect? Where was the line between standing up for yourself and being stubborn? 3 months passed. I stayed at Dante's, throwing myself into work and gym routines and anything that kept my mind busy. Francesca respected my space, checking in maybe once a week with something small and thoughtful. Then one day, a package arrived. Inside was the Italian cookbook I'd bought for her mother, along with a note. She wanted you to have this. Said anyone who spent 3 months tracking it down deserved to own it. Also said you're welcome for Christmas whenever you're ready. Mama Rosa. Something cracked in my chest. I called Francesca that night. Hi. She breathed out like she'd been waiting by the phone. Hi. How are you? I don't know. Better than I was. Still figuring things out. Take all the time you need. Your mom sent me the cookbook. She insisted. Wouldn't let me talk her out of it. It was supposed to be her gift. She knows. She said it already is. We talked for an hour. About nothing and everything. About therapy and growth and fear and courage. It felt different. She felt different. Or maybe I did. I miss you, she said quietly. I miss you too. Does that mean? It means I miss you. I'm not ready to come home yet. But I miss you. I'll wait. However long it takes. We hung up and I sat staring at the cookbook. At the careful notes in the margins from Mama Rosa. At the receipts I'd used as bookmarks from the antiquarian bookshop 3 states away. The ring was still in my jacket pocket. I'd carried it with me this whole time. Unable to let it go, but unable to do anything with it either. Dante found me on the couch at 2 a.m., cookbook open in my lap. You going back? Eventually. Maybe. But I need to know it's different. Need to know I'm not just filling space until someone better fits. You think that's what you were doing? I think that's what she thought she was doing. Keeping me at arm's length just in case Marco came back. And now Marco's definitely not coming to Christmas. Dante laughed. That's something. Yeah, it's something. It's been 4 months now since that conversation about Christmas. Francesca and I talk regularly, rebuilding slowly. She's met me halfway on everything: therapy, communication, vulnerability, setting boundaries with her family, making space for me in her life in ways that feel real. Last week, she asked if I wanted to have dinner. Just dinner. No pressure. We met at the Italian place where we had our first date. She looked nervous, fidgeting with her napkin the way she does when something matters. I've been thinking, she started. Dangerous. She smiled. I want to start over. Not forget what happened, but use it to build something stronger. I want to introduce you to my family properly. I want to tell them about the ring you bought. I want them to know you're my future, not my present. What about Marco? Marco's a good guy, but he's my past, and I'm done living there. The ring felt heavy in my pocket. I'd started carrying it again recently. Not sure why. What if I'm not ready? Then I'll wait. Because you're worth waiting for. We ate dinner, talked, laughed, remembered why we fell for each other in the first place. As we left the restaurant, she reached for my hand. I let her take it. One step at a time, she asked. One step at a time. I don't know if we'll make it. Don't know if the damage can be fully repaired or if we're just prolonging the inevitable. But for the first time in 4 months, I feel like maybe, just maybe, we're finally building something real. The ring's still in my pocket. Waiting. Like me. We'll see.